this little cutie. Oh, he's such a good boy. He's such a good little boy. Look at him. He's so cute. He's shedding quite a bit. Oh my goodness. Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are all doing great and finding time to do the things that you love to do. Today, I wanted to talk about all of my experiences with animals. Now, this is going to be a very, very rambly video, but I believe all story times should end with a very happy ending. So I thought I would let you all know that all of these stories might come as, some of them might come as a little bit shocking, but do not fear. Just know that this is going to end beautifully. Okay, so let's start by talking about my first ever experience with animals when I was just a little girl. My mom and dad took me to a petting zoo, and I do not remember it at all. I only have pictures to remember. But I guess I fed a goat. I guess I petted a lamb or something like that. So that I think was my first experience with like animals. My grandma had a dog. I believe his name was Jody or something like that, but I couldn't say that because I was just a baby, so I would call him Dodo. So I can't remember what that dog really looked like anymore, but I think it was just like a big brown dog. I'll have to ask my grandma and see if she remembers. Okay, so moving on a little bit, those were like my very, very, very first memories of animals. So I fed a baby goat or something like that. I remember my grandma having a dog. I wasn't really around cats much growing up at all. Except this one time we did have a calico cat come into our backyard because our backyard was fenced. And we would play out in our backyard, and we had this little tiny like hole in the fence, and under that the cat crawled under, and we named her Callie, and we never kept her. She was just kind of like a stray cat. She'd come and go as she pleased. But anyways, so moving right along, I think I was about 8 years old, probably, and I really wanted a dog so bad. I wanted a little puppy. I wanted a little white, soft puppy. And I asked for that puppy for so long. And then one day, my mom and my grandma, they went on a road trip, and I had to stay home. I didn't get to go with them, which really was upsetting because I loved going places with my mom, especially if she was taking like my grandma with me or with her, like count me in. But no, I had to stay home. I think I just had to stay home that day. It was so sad, but my mom told me that she'd bring me back like a doll or something like that. So I was excited. So my mom came home, and she had this little basket. It was just a little like bassinet basket, like a baby basket, and it had a little soft blanket over the basket. I think it was like a soft pink or white. It was something like really cute. And my mom said, "All right, we got you this doll," and she gave me the bassinet or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then I took the blanket off to see my doll, and it was a little precious little white fluffy Maltese. Now this puppy was everything to me. I cried when I seen her. I like bawled my eyes out because I loved her so much, and I was like so shocked and expecting to see a doll, and in its place was this living, moving, breathing, beautiful baby puppy. So that was one of the coolest experiences. It was one of the coolest gifts I ever got, and one of the best surprises of my life right there. Now, I had Chloe for about 2 years, and I renamed this puppy a lot. I named her Beth after my middle name. I named her after a bunch of different brat dolls, I think, like Jade, Jasmine. Anyways, I ended up deciding on Chloe. I thought that was cute. I would have been way more prepared out on a name if I would have known ahead of time, you know. But Chloe it was, and I kept her for about 2 years. And then she started biting my little brother's toes and stuff a lot, nipping, and none of us really understood how to train her to not do that. So yeah. Anyways, we ended up giving that dog to a family member, and we still seen that dog or whatever. But a couple years later, or maybe I don't really know the time frame, but a couple years within this time frame, my brother, my younger brother, he gets a golden retriever for his birthday, and this golden retriever grew up with us. We had this dog forever, best dog ever. He lived inside with us for years and years, and he would get up on the couch with us, and he was such a good boy, and you know, that was the main dog I think that I had a bond with when I was little. So let's see, moving on from that, I didn't really ever have any other kind of pets. I never had goldfish. I never had hamsters. Never had guinea pigs. I never had a turtle. Okay, that's a lie. I did have a turtle one time, and I kept it in this really cool shoebox, and then one day it ran away. I let it go play outside, and then I couldn't ever find him again. His name was Turtle McGee. I would feed him strawberries and leaves and all kinds of stuff. I think I was in junior high when I had that turtle. I had him for a month. So, and then let's see. I think I was in 8th grade, and I really wanted a cat. Never had one before. I was just getting into Tumblr a whole lot, and cats and tea were so popular. All these cuties online, they were posting with their cats and their tea, and I was just like, oh, that's such a good aesthetic. That's such a good, cool vibe. I want a cat in my room. Yeah. So I tell my friend, because my friend just had her cats had little kittens. So I was like, my mom and dad will not let me have a cat. They won't let me bring it in the house. They don't believe cats in the house, you know. So my friend was like, okay, we could probably just sneak it into your room and they'll never know. Because that's true. It'd be pretty easy to keep a cat in your room, you know, and then take it out in a backpack, go, whatever. So that's what I was gonna do. I had that cat for 2 nights, because for some reason I just didn't vibe with it. Oh man, and I knew I was breaking the rules by having this animal in there, having this cat. If my mom and dad found out I had a cat in my room after specifically telling me not to, I knew I was gonna get in trouble or grounded or whatever. So I told my friend, I was like, look, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to take this cat back. She was like, I'm not gonna take the cat back, that's your cat. We got in a big old fight about it. Junior high fights, man, I tell you what, they're the worst. So what I did was I gave the cat to another friend to give, since me and that friend were in a little cat fight. Pardon the pun. I gave it to a mutual friend that was cool with both of us still, and I told her, I was like, give her this cat back and tell her I am sorry. So that was my experience with cats. anything out because I'm about to get to the juicy stuff that you guys have been asking me about, like Weaver and Honey Bear and Ollie and all of that. I got all of the stories. Okay. But there's more. There's more. So I had a best friend growing up, and what can we call her? We'll call her Irene. Okay, we'll call her Irene. Anyways, love you. If you're watching this, I love you. I'm sorry for what I'm about to tell everybody, but I would go over to her house, and she would have these chihuahuas, and they would bite my toes, and they would bark at me and growl at me, and so, like, from that moment on, like, I never was a big chihuahua fan, and I love animals very much, support them, love them from far away, and I've learned this about myself, and so that's my story with chihuahuas. They're nippy, yippity, bippity, nippity, flippity dogs. But I think they're cute from far away, but just keep them away from my toes. Any little dog did that to me, tried to bite my toes and stuff. So anyways, in high school, let's see, what was I? I was in college. Okay, this was when I was in cosmetology. I was doing a competition, because I also did modeling back then. So I was in a country-themed modeling competition. And it was just some local thing. It wasn't no big deal. But I was competing against, like, I don't even know. I was just competing against, like, people that weren't even trying to get into the character, you know? Like, for a photo shoot, I took it passionately. Like, when I showed up to a photo shoot, I would bring suitcases upon suitcases of wigs, props, wardrobe, makeup. I would come prepared. I'd bring hot tools. I'd bring, like, I was really good at what I did back then. So I really wanted to win this competition. It wasn't a big thing, but it meant a lot to me. And so my aunt, she knew a guy that owned a horse. She was like, oh my gosh. An aunt out there, if you're watching this, I love you. I love you. She was like, oh my gosh, I know a guy that has a horse. You could totally just, like, stand by it and take a photo shoot with it, and that would probably get you into winning this competition. So we do the photo shoot. I had a cowgirl hat on. I had a really cute flannel. I had some cowgirl boots on. My hair was all curled and everything. And I was taking these pictures with this horse. Now, I have never in my life been on a horse. I never rode a horse. I never even been up close by a horse. I've only seen horses on TV, okay? Or, like, in the parade, like from a way far distance or something. So I was already nervous. I felt, like, on edge a little bit just standing next to this horse, because it was like a wild horse, come to find out. Anywho, we almost are done with the photo shoot. We were pretty much wrapping it up, and where we decide that it might be a good idea if I go ahead and just sit on the horse and get one last photo, and, like, that would probably be the one to win the competition. So I get up on the horse, and as soon as I get up there and sit down, and I am sorry, you can skip about 30 seconds if you want to, if you don't want to hear. So basically, long story short, the horse bugged back, and it, like, went on its hind legs, busted my teeth, shoved them up in my face. But I healed perfectly. These are not false teeth. These are my real teeth. I got so lucky that I did not kick the bucket that day. Very thankful, and I stopped modeling after that. To just I have done some photo shoots though, like for fun after that with my friends, or just like I'll have my mom take a photo shoot of me or something if I want to do that, because I still love it. I love it. Go thrift shopping and find something like edgy fashion, like crazy looking wedding dress, and then go model that somewhere, like in a, I don't know, in a weird castle scene. I don't know. I just got so inspired and thrilled from making sceneries and photo shoots and everything. After I healed from that horse incident, physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was kind of scarred from like all animals. So like, I noticed for a couple years after that, any kind of dog around me, I would get very high anxiety. Anything. And I was petting a cat one time, and it like kind of jumped close to my face, and I got like so startled. But that's just something that I've dealt with in my life that I have officially overcame. I came out stronger for it. I learned a lot. I'll never ride a horse. I think they're beautiful from far away, but I'll never get on one. So that's my experience with horses. Now I want to talk about a couple other things so I don't leave them out. I am very scared of like birds, bats, anything that can fly towards my head. Growing up, I lived in a very old house, and we would get bats and birds and squirrels and other animals in our house a lot, because I think I don't know if like our attic had like little tiny spots that like bats could fly in. I don't know. Anyways, though, I had a lot of experience with, just being asleep and then a bat flying in my head or something. It's absolutely nuts. So, still to this day, if I'm at the zoo or something, I will go in the bat cave. I will, but it's like severe anxiety inducing for me. But whatever. I just put my hood up and like try to walk fast. So I don't let it. What would it be? I don't know. I don't let those I try not to let those fears hold me back in life. I don't want to miss out on things. I don't want to. My husband, he loves the bat cages or whatever, bat caves or whatever, at like a zoo or whatever. He loves birds. He loves watching birds. So I'm not gonna like miss out on going through a bat cave with my husband or my friends or my family just because I'm like phobic of birds and bats. Like I will fight through it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just a little fun fact about me. So another thing, let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. We did have a couple dogs here and there, like, but we never had them for long. Let's see, my brother had like an outside dog. I think it was like a beagle or something. He had two of them. It was Skip and Sparky. And then they like something happened there. I don't know. I think, yeah, I won't get into that. Terrible, but, and then we had another dog. I think he was like a Shih Tzu breed, or a Shih Tzu mix, and his name was Ralphie Boy, and he was so cute, but he was so tiny, and yeah, it wasn't, but that was years ago, years ago. So so years later, after like my horse incident, I finally started to overcome my fear of animals, and I started craving that, like, wanting a pet feeling. I wanted a dog, and I remembered that Cody, my golden retriever from when I was a little girl, he was my best dog. He was friendly, he was such a good boy. So I was like, baby, that's what I need. A boy golden retriever. So I got Weaver Bear, and I love him, and I always will love him. After I got Weaver, really thought it would be cute to get him a friend, so I got him two friends. I got him two more golden retrievers. So you guys remember Ellie? You guys remember Honey Bear? You guys asked whatever happened to Ellie. So Ellie and Honey were sisters, and all three of these dogs, they grew up together. You know, I got them all at the same time. Honey and Weaver, they kicked it off right away. You know, they were like best buds, bonded right away. We're always like play fighting and just like snuggling together and all that stuff. Ellie, though, I don't know if it was like she was trying to be protective of Honey, if she was jealous. I don't know, like if that's a dog thing or not. Territorial, maybe. But you know, she was different than Honey Bear. She like growled very deep, and she's scary. She was scary to me. She scared me. She brought out that anxiety. And I don't think anyone should ever feel bad or guilty if you bring a pet into your home and you don't bond with them, and you give it time, you work with them, you try, of course, I don't think you should just bring a pet, let the newness wear off, and then get rid of them. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying I don't think you should feel bad if, you're not bonding with the pet and it's causing you more stress in your life than enjoyment. Finding that pet a good home, that pet has the potential to bond with a human and have a really good life, So I did a lot of looking around, and I really thought about it, and one of my family members, they wanted a dog, so I let them have Ellie. So, I don't see her much, but I know that she's happy and that she is, she's surrounded by a lot of kids and stuff like that. I do see pictures of her sometimes, and she recently had a litter, which, little cutie. I loved Ellie. She's my little cutie, but, she got to be, first of all, having 3 puppies is crazy enough, and I should have realized that. That was my fault. I should have just, which I do not regret it. I don't regret getting Honey and Ellie, because now Weaver and Honey are together, and they love each other. They get along so good. Honey's such a good girl, and Weaver is such a good boy. Now, I'm going to answer all your questions, okay? I remember, I got them. Weaver and Honey are not with me. They are living with my mom and dad, and the reason being is, even though Weaver and Honey are my dogs, they're kind of like my family's dogs too, because I lived with my family when I got those dogs. So when I moved out, I did not have a yard, or like a yard big enough for them to run around in. I didn't have anything prepared, and they already had, they were comfortable at my mom and dad's, so they're at my mom and dad's. I live with them. I go over there, I see them a lot. They're still my dogs. So yeah, Weaver and Honey Bear, they're doing wonderful. They're doing super good. Yeah, so that's the story with them. Now, when, let's see, so about a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago or so, about a year and a half ago, we decided to get a corgi named Ollie, and we did a little research. My husband knew this guy from his work that had a corgi, and this guy talked the corgis up so much. He said they were the perfect dog, and he really got us wanting to see what all this, fuss was about. So we started looking up a bunch of corgi videos, and we became so, excited and in love with the idea of having a little house dog, That was one thing about the golden retrievers. Weaver, he would jump up on me a lot, and as he got bigger, he got very heavy, and he would leave, bruises and marks and stuff on me. So that's one thing I do have to be careful with around bigger dogs. heavier ones like Weaver because he will jump up on me anyways. So, moving on a little bit. So I was like, we were thinking, maybe a small dog would fit us really good. Could snuggle with it on the couch, can lay up with us on the bed, and be really nice. So I was really excited. We went and we got it, and we had such a fun time with that little cutie for a couple months. And when I tell you guys that we tried our best with that little dog, we really did. So this, I'll tell you guys. Okay, so my grandma, she had a dog named, Una. And Una passed away, and, like about a year before we got Ollie. So it had been a year, and my grandma really wanted a small dog. So Una was a really, thick, big, heavy, big-boned girl. She was big dog. And she actually, like, knocked my grandma over a couple times and some stuff. So, anyways, my grandma loved that dog. But eventually, my grandma was like, I need a companion. I need a little dog. So, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give her Ollie because they would probably love each other. The best way I can put this story with Ollie, I'll explain. So, I'd get up about, I kind of changed my lifestyle when I got the puppy, right? When we got Ollie. You kind of have to. It's kind of like having a child. You gotta get up early in the morning. You gotta do all this stuff, which I was totally fine with. I was totally prepared for it. I was already used to it. I had a lot of knowledge from like puppy training and stuff because of Weaver, Honey, and Ellie. Like, I worked with them so much that I basically became like a pro puppy trainer. So this was my morning routine for about 6 months. That's about how long we had him. I'd get up about 6 a.m. and I would take him outside. I would come back in. I would feed him. And then right after that, we would have a one-on-one like playtime. So we would do like 3 hours of dedicated time together. Okay, me and this Ollie bear. Okay, 3 hours. I'm not kidding. I'd wake up at 6 and I wouldn't get back home until like 9. So after we would do some training at home and like after he would eat and everything and he would play outside in the yard, play outside with me, we would go on a walk. And I would walk all around, and we would walk and walk and walk until he got like, so I would take him home, he would drink water, and then he'd plop down on the furnace. Okay, and I was like, alright, he's tired. Finally. Thank goodness. So I would sit down on the couch, and as soon as I sat down on the couch, he would start growling at me like fiercely. And if I spent like all day with him, I tested it out. Maybe I was like, okay, he's a puppy. Maybe he just really needs like attention. I spent all day with this dog. Cuddled with, like, put him in my bed at night to snuggle with him. Put a movie on. He was laying there by me. I put a chip in my. It was an almond. This dog had misophonia. I'm telling you what. This dog is watching the movie, and as soon as I take a crunch of that almond, he looks at me like this. And he starts growling the scariest, fierce growl ever. Like, so guess what? I had to put my almonds away. I couldn't eat them because my dog was growling at me. So, I worked with him a lot. I tried to bond with him. I really, really did. I tried my hardest to, like, love this dog, you know? Because when I have an animal, like Weaver, pretty late at night to start filming my videos. That way there's less cars and children and birds and everything else happening on the outside world. But even if I stayed up till like 1 a.m., he was still barking, and then I'd have to get up at 6 a.m. because that's the schedule he was on, you know? So it was just like really, really making my life so much stress. So much stress. So by this time, you know, my grandma was pretty sad about not having a dog still. And like for a few months there, I was trying to talk to her into like going and getting one from a shelter or something, and she just said they were all either too big or like, you know, she just wanted a smaller dog. So I was like, okay, I'm not bonding with this dog at all, and he's little enough still that I don't think it would be terrible to rehome him with you. You know, she has big yard, everything. So we did. We rehomed him and gave him to my grandma. Now, my grandma has been extremely great with animals her whole life. They raised rabbits, they had dogs, they had all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different things. So she is like an animal pro. And she even could not bond with this dog. She kept him for another like 6 months. And it just, you know, every time she would sit down, he would just be growling nonstop, constantly biting, nipping, things like that. And I do know that all puppies will do that, and they can grow out of it. And there's things that we as humans should do to help guide them, you know. But I honestly, I think it is okay for us to face the fact that sometimes we make mistakes, and that is what I did. I made a mistake. But like I said, this story has a happy ending, so here we go. So after Ollie, I was like, dang it, I'm never gonna have a pet again after this, because, you know, I keep like failing as a pet mom, basically. So, but I'm the kind of person, like, I need a pet in my life. I want to give a pet love, you know what I mean? I want something that I can cuddle and tell it that it's cute. That's basically, you know, that's what I want it for. I want to love it. I want to give it cute little snacks. I want to take cute pictures of it. I want to ask it, like, how are you doing, you know? Whatever. So I start thinking, and I'm like, maybe it doesn't have to be the end for me. Maybe I can have an animal, but like, it can't be a dog, obviously, and it can't be a cat. It sure as heck ain't gonna be a bird, and it's not gonna be a snake. So I was like, I don't like mice. So I was gonna get a hamster. I was gonna get a dwarf hamster. I'd never had one before, but I started researching them, and I was like, ooh, a dwarf hamster, that'd be so cute. Like a little teddy bear hamster, I think. Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know. Anyways, though, I was on TikTok, and I typed in dwarf hamster, and all of a sudden, a dwarf Holland lot popped up, and my heart sunk. Like, I felt that inner child excitement feeling when I first saw my baby puppy Chloe. That same internally, it just, like, it hit me, like, whew. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is what I want. They are perfect. These bunnies will not bark. They're gonna be perfect for, you know, me making ASMR videos. I can make ASMR videos with them if I wanted, because they don't bark. You know, they're docile. They're nice. They're easy to train. They're like so many of like my family members and friends want one, and they, so I'll have to show you guys if they do end up having a litter, and I'll show you those baby bunnies, and it's gonna be so awesome. But my heart is full to the brim now that I have found my favorite animal in the world. Like, I never used to have a favorite animal, I'd always used to just say that I loved pandas because they're cute. But like, to fully have my favorite animal, and I own those little bears. I own those little cute Holland babies. I never want to be without one now, They bring me so much joy. I can sit and just pet their little ears and their little head and their little nose, like right here, this little bridge. I can just sit and do that for literally ever, and I will never get bored of it because they're like, I feel like they release so much happiness and endorphins while I'm like petting them and stuff, and that's what a pet should be. A pet shouldn't be stressed. Like, I know all pets are gonna come with, pros and cons or whatever, and all dogs take work. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like if you're gonna invest yourself into getting a pet, really look into the information about it first and see if it's gonna fit well with your life. That would be my advice. I wish I could go back in time to when I was a little girl and just be like, you're a bunny person. Dogs and cats are cute, but they're for those other people. You're a bunny girl, okay? I wish I could, but, time machines aren't quite a thing, but, anyways, yeah, so I hope I answered all of your guys' questions, and if you have any more, like, animal or pet-related questions, or any bunny-related questions, put them down in the comments, and I'm gonna make I think I'm gonna do, like, a Holland fact video, so I'll add, like, a little Q&A at the beginning to that, if you guys have more bunny questions. So, thank you guys for tuning in and spending